Welcome back to Normal Guy Games. As you can see behind me here, I'm working on part 2 of the Chaos Knights series, and this time I'm going to show you how to do the Warp Rift. Now, with the Warp Rift, you will see some of the final painted model, but because of the way I'm doing this, I have to kind of break it up into different pieces. So we will get to the painting video as well, but for now, let me show you how I do my Warp Rifts. Okay, so the Warp Rift. I am super excited about this. Now you can see here, these are examples of the Warp Rift that I've been practicing. It started with Ahriman, and we're moving on here. Now I'm using a watered down black paint to create the black like nebulous cloud that goes around and within the Warp Rift itself. Now this is Pro Acryl's Coal Black, and it is I used a lot of water here, and I don't mind that it's going to pool, and I don't mind that it's going to look weird. I'm also mixing in a dark neutral gray, which is again Pro Acryl, and that is going to create the middle. Now these light paints are going to get watered down a little bit, and then I'm going to use them to do the same thing. We're going to paint those nebulous clouds into the center of each of the black clouds. Now the black on the outside creates a sort of border, and on the inside these colors will make up the clouds and make everything look like a nebula or a cloud in a rift. Now as you can see, I am alternating between the colors, ivory and bold titanium white and the sky blue, and I'm just kind of slopping them on there and just keeping it within the bounds of the black. Now we're going to use contrast paints here to do the next step. Now I am grabbing each of these off of my palette, and I am creating clouds. I'm just kind of going over top of the paint and the black, and I am just creating what looks like a blended sort of nebula. Now you can use any contrast paints you want. I just happen to use the ones that look the most like, I hesitate to say space colors, but for me it's kind of space colors. Now the next step is admittedly the hardest step, and this is the one that's kind of a pain in the ass. What I do here is I literally am drawing around the nebulas. So I am drawing a white cloud with bold titanium white. This is a thin white line, and I'm going around all of the clouds that are on the inside of the black, like the nebula cloud on the outside. I am trying to be very careful, but I do need to get some new brushes. My old Citadel brushes have been blown out for a while, and I just keep using them because I don't know why. I'm eventually going to order some brushes from Monument Hobbies. But once I'm done outlining each of them, I actually take that white paint and as thin as I can manage, I make lightning crackles, right? So I make just arcs of lightning that are coming off of the cloud itself, and that kind of makes it look like it's popping out of the actual, like the shoulder pad or the cloak or wherever you put it. And I'm just randomly kind of scrawling lines in. Now alternately, you don't have to do this in white. You could do this in another color. Actually, I think the bright yellow green that Pro Acryl has, that could work. You could do it sky blue. You could do it whatever color you want. But there's a reason why I'm doing this in white. Okay. What I'm doing, I'll show you that later. So what I'm doing here is I'm just putting a couple of dots. These are going to represent stars. They're going to represent comets. They're going to represent like heavenly bodies, whatever the case may be, and I'm doing this in various colors. Now I'm using the bright yellow green, and I am also using the sky blue, and I am just putting little dots and lines and anything that I think looks neat on the inside of those warp rifts. I'm trying to make what looks like planets, shooting stars, whatever the case is, whatever I can find. And I also took some pink. It's the Pro Acryl's magenta, and I'm using that magenta in along with the white, and I'm kind of making some cloud-like shapes in there and a couple of pink stars. I'm just kind of mixing it up and taking bright colors and going over top of those clouds. And pardon my thumb, it's kind of a pain in the butt to paint on these little pieces. Now the last piece here, the last part, I'm actually taking some of those colors, the sky blue and the bright yellow green, and I am making some variants on the white. And pretty much that's it. Once you're done with that, that's your warp rift. It's fairly simple except for the whole painting the white part. Anyway, if you have liked the video, I would really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe, and stick around. We got more coming, and the last video is going to be my paint scheme. So, I appreciate the views. I appreciate any likes and subscribes, guys. We'll see you on the next video.